Hey Tubers, he's back, and it's a video response video, which is I'm not done for ages, and it's in response to the various videos that guys are doing. Eddie, Rollercore, James, Retro Import Gamer, and Dave, Retro Games Play Badly, have done about what they call box art porn. Now, does that mean pornography? No, it means really good quality art that's could be should be sold in a brown paper bag because it's so hot, or just bloody good, really. So I picked a selection of games, and I could have gone the smutty route and got games like Senran Kagura. This is the first one. Doesn't leave too much for the imagination, and that's more of the that's definitely the naughty stuff more than anything else, really. And there's tons of naughty games, especially coming out recently on the Switch. Even on the 360 we had one or two racy games. I'm not talking about Dead or Alive games, although you could argue they're one of the earlier ones for bouncing boobs and stuff. But there's games like Magna Carta on the Xbox 360 that doesn't leave too much for the imagination. With the women with sort of artistic curves, which is kind of inspired by Dragon's Crown, I suppose, or Dragon's Crown was inspired by Magna Carta, or if it's the same, similar artists or style, I don't know. It's sort of a bit like that heavy metal extreme type art, I suppose, with curvy warrior princesses and muscular things and all sorts. But anyway, there's one more slightly watch it one which I can leave to last, but the rest of our games, rest assured, guys, are perfectly PG, but they are good. So what have I got? Well, there's one Gundam game, and a lot of Gundam game with box art is pretty good, but I have to include Endless Duel for the art cover for the Super Famicom game. That's got everything you could possibly want for a robot fighting game, isn't it, really? Just look at that art, so nice. That's the box art on many Super Famicom games. I thought I'd mix it up a bit. Atari Jaguar. You may think, well, is there any good box art? Well, I think when you think of fighter Raiden, I think you'll be tempted to say that there are some really cool box arts, and I'm not saying this is necessarily the best, but the box art is pretty Monty. You might have to excuse the reflection on the box protector, but this is Atari Jaguar Raiden. Then the Mega Drive. Now there's quite a few shooters in there. I was kind of torn, but instead I went for ones whereby I just think the box art is cool and it would entice me to play the game. So one of these, I think, even though it's not a particularly good game, but it would be one that would think, oh, I want to play that, is Robocop 3. Because the poster art of that cover, you know, Robocop flying through the glass, massive skyscraper, attacking people beneath him. I just think that's an awesome box art. I just think that's so cool. I think that's really nice, and I just think it's a really cool game cover, even though it's not a particularly good game. One that is a bit more stylistic than box art cover, and it's probably not one that many people have heard of too much, is Empire of Steel. A really good spaceship side shooter type thing, with more of a steampunk elements. But the box art cover is pretty cool, I think. So that's one of the reasons why I went for this one over many other games. Now, with Darius and Gradius, you can pretty much pick any of those games. Konami have done a fantastic job with their Castlevania series and those shooters, and even Metal Gear games. The box arts are always quite awesome. But I say Konami, it's also Taito as well, isn't it? And this is one of the Taito ones. I don't know. Although, to be honest, for the back of my head, I thought it was Konami, but Taito and Konami, with Gradius and everything else, it's very easy to get them mixed up. But the box art on the Gradius games and Darius games, or I think it could even be the same artist, I don't know. But it's just cool, and so I just picked up at random Darius Twin, which is one of the best shooters on the Super Famicom. Again, cool cover. But I think arguably, probably Gradius Nemesis, which is the one that Eddie showed, is probably the most #1 art cover, I would say. And that's definitely Konami. Okay, I was thinking, well, how about PC Engine? Now, there's tons of great artwork on the PC Engine, but I thought I would just round it down to 2. So I thought I have to have Space Harrier. Look at that box art cover. It's so trippy, and it's got all the classic elements from the game, all combined in one image. So you have to have that. That is a cool cover. And then also trippy is Kyoko Tiger or Twin Cobra. Again, with a lot of these PC Engine, most PC Engine, well, I say all PC Engine, the Who card games, there's no actual artwork of the game itself, so you're always going by the cover. And the Japanese covers are always 10 times better than the PAL. One classic example is Gunhead or Blazing Angels. Well, where's that? Oh, I forgot that I hanged. I actually traded in my the American cover because I wanted to have the Japanese game, more playable than Blazing Lasers. Check on YouTube for a TurboGrafx cover for Blazing Angels. It's pretty lame, to be perfectly honest. Whereas the Japanese cover, Gunhead, which is Blazing Lasers, same game, much more interesting. Another game which I had to include, and it's one of my favourite shooters, but the box art cover is cool, and that has to be Battle Gregor. I also have this on other systems such as the Sega Saturn and stuff, and PS3 box set, but this is just the PS4 copy. But the box art cover is awesome. And notice that sort of shit that sort of comes right at you, so it's right in your face. Another one that's right in your face would have to be on the Neo Geo CD, is Last Resort. Box art cover there. You could argue it's phallic. I guess anything long and thin like that would be. Especially with it protruding as it is like that. But I think it's just supposed to be in your face and be intimidating for that reason, as opposed to anything naughty. Now, I was thinking of PlayStation, and there's probably tons of great box art covers on PlayStation, although arguably I think there's more than the Saturn. But one game which I come across, and I thought, yeah, I do like that box art too, and it's quite endearing, and that would have to be The Adventure of Little Ralph. This is quite an uncommon Japanese platforming game, and if you look at the box art cover there, it looks really like fun, and it is a really good game. Unfortunately, these days it's a bit pricey. I mean, I bought it years ago for about £200, which is a fraction of what it goes for these days. Now, this game on the Japanese PlayStation 1, the box art is rather dull. It's not terrible, but it's not most exciting, and that's Snatcher. But on the original Mega CD, that is so cool, isn't it? It really is Blade Runner. It really is Blade Runner-esque, isn't it? But again, Konami, they do hire the best artists, I reckon, for their games most of the time. And so, what's my last one? This is not all these games aren't necessarily in order of what's the best, because I think they're all pretty good. But this one, I have this on PAL, and a PAL copy is okay. But I reckon if they'd gone for this Japanese artwork, the game would have been a hit. I don't think it was a hit, and that is from Shadows of the Damned, which is by Grasshopper Games. They've done other great games such as Lollipop Chainsaw and Killer's Dead and lots of other classics. But this cover, I bought the Japanese cover. It was a used game, yeah, and it's for Shadows of the Damned. And this is a Japanese box art cover. Now the guy has got this massive gun, which again is kind of phallic, but that's not the reason to go for the box art. It's just for his damsel in distress, so to speak. I know it sounds awfully sexist. She looks rather very erotic, if I may say so fairly, but stylish. Not in your face like the other ones with big boobs. It's more, it's more tasteful, I would say. So this is more of a tasteful one. Now, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, I bought a used copy because I wanted the cover. I got a nice picture of her actually on the disc, which again is very, very tasteful in a sort of rude sense, but it's still tasteful. Unfortunately, they sold me a used copy that's all sealed, so it's not actually a used copy; it's a brand new copy they sent me, and for that reason, I don't open it because I got the PAL copy of this game to play and everything else really. So I've been deprived of that pleasure. But you can see the picture of the disc quite easily on the eBay if you're interested. And I highly recommend that you look on eBay for Japanese copies of this and just have a look at that box art. It's really, really tasteful. And they would have sold so many more covers of that game. I'm not sure why they didn't. It's not like it's, you know, it's not like it's top shelf stuff. They could easily sold this. But they didn't for whatever reason. They went for a plain cover, a picture with just him on and his gun, which wasn't that impressive really in the PAL territory. And that's it. That's my video response to the guys really of box arts. There are bound to be tons of other games which I'm not including, mostly Darius and Grady's games, in terms of really, really good box art, and there's so many shooters as well on a Japanese Sega Saturn, which I could have included, and the Capcom fighting games, the box arts of those on the Sega Saturn, they are all cool too. But sometimes when you presented with so many good quality pictures, you don't know which ones to go for. So this is why I've gone for ones which are a bit more of a variety as opposed to spaceships all the time. So I hope people have found this video amusing, and by all means please do a video response to the other guys and make your own video, because I think this is quite an interesting topic for video responses. So take care guys, and see you later.